Okay, YouTube, we need to address the elephant in the room. Combo decks. Combo decks have been plaguing Edison format since the days of Dragon Turbo, but now, more than ever, players are complaining. Some are even jumping ship to other retro formats like Wind Up, marketed as Redo, or even the OCG 1103 format. And honestly, I get it. Imagine spending your money on a flight and hotel just to get 2-0 creamed by Gigavise. And all you did was sit there and watch your opponent play solitaire. That would leave a sour taste in anyone's mouth. I'd probably start thinking about investing my time in other hobbies too. So, what does this mean for the future of Edison? Right now, the big three combo decks are Dragon Turbo, Frog OTK, and Gigavise. These decks are often seen as gimmicks or cheap tricks.
Cell destroyed the entire royal military with his power. What do you have to say to that?
This was all just a cheap trick.
So let's define what a gimmick actually is. A gimmick is a strategy that takes advantage of your opponent's lack of knowledge or just uses a cheap, unexpected trick to win. Here are two examples of gimmicks from other competitive games. Although it's not widely used today, mostly because of common knowledge and changes in newer generations, there was a gimmick in which a level 1 Pokemon could take out a level 100 Pokemon. This gimmick works by exploiting your opponent's lack of knowledge, but it's far from unbeatable. It's vulnerable to a lot of counters, like multi-hit moves, status effects, and even entry hazards. Still, as you can see here, just using 2 level 1 Pokemon, I managed to take out 2 level 100s. Of course, I still lost the battle because my opponent was experienced and knew how to adapt. But that's the whole point of gimmicks. Gimmicks can still win, but against a prepared player, they usually fall apart. Now, this is an example of a well-known former gimmick in Super Smash Bros. Melee called wobbling. Wobbling is essentially an infinite grab. Once you're caught, you can't mash out at certain percentages, and it racks up damage until you're in KO range. This gimmick doesn't rely on a lack of knowledge. Instead, it falls squarely into the category of a cheap strategy that cheeses out a win. Gimmicks are hated for a reason. They tilt people off the face of the earth. But like it or not, gimmicks are a part of the game. Despite how powerful Dragon Turbo and Frog OTK are, one having won an RBET, the other a YCS, Gigavise is somehow the deck that strikes the most fear into duelist hearts. The Giga threat became public enemy number 1 after it scored 2 top 8 finishes at YCS Orlando. And while it might not be the most loved deck out there, we've got to give credit to its creators, Marcus LOL and ProStorm, for innovating this deep into a locked format. That's impressive. But let's be real. Since Orlando, the deck has cooled off. RBTLA, it didn't top. SSG, Southside Gaming, it didn't top. And more recently, at YCS Houston, you guessed it, it still did not top. People expected it to win, but we can see what really happened.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
Now, that's not to say that the deck is bad. It's just to point out that the fear of the deck is often greater than the actual threat. In my opinion, Gigavise is tier 1.5. It can win events, but there are better options. Most of the time, Gigavise ends up losing to itself. It has a weak defense, and it's prone to bricking, like a lot of decks in Edison format, honestly. So here's my advice. Find a training partner to help you sharpen your matchups. For me, it's my boy, Nikki Stango. And even though I've had my running shoes on lately, a bit of an inside joke, if I do well at Providence, I got to thank him for preparing me. Anyway, here's a replay analysis of a set that we played together. As you can see, I'm on Value Turbo. So I go charge, mill 3, set Ryko, and pass. Now I knew Stango was on Gigavise because I specifically requested practice. If you're struggling against a matchup, get a practice partner. So he summons Gigavise, I go summon Sirocco, half, pump, attack. He heavy storms me, marks me, and at this point it's looking bad because he's getting his power tool combo off. But of course, it's not the full combo. He DDRs, gets his Gigavise combo back. I show him that I already have Brain Con Kaya so that he doesn't think I sacked him. So I go for that play, swing, hit him for 24. He's top decking. He takes another 24. I set Ryko, set Mirror Force, and on his turn, he's able to make Stardust. But I tell him I have Mirror Force and Ryko, so it doesn't matter what he does, because I'll Mirror Force to Stardust, and on my turn, flip Ryko, he has to negate, attack direct for game. Now, game 2, he does open up much better than he did game 1. But I have Falsodina, and Falsodina completely wrecks this deck because they can't do much of anything. So I just pressure him with Falsodina, summon Arbinek in the night because I'm not scared of Mirror Force Torrential, and my opponent just winds up having a Wing Blast. So he goes Mark, he thinks about what to take, he takes my Falsodina to get rid of it, goes for the Power Tool play once again, but if you play close attention, I actually have 2 darks in my grave, and Stangle's at 42. So I just show him my hand, and it's game. And just to drive the point home, Gigavise is beatable. Here's a recent IRL set I played against it. Big shout outs to Brad Sue, my real life training partner out here in Korea. So that's my 2 cents on Gigavise. Let me know in the comments below if you want a video on how to beat Gigavise, where I not only share side decking tips, but also general strategies that you should implement when going up against this deck to increase your chances at victory, of course. Anyway, until next time, take care, duelists. A true hero out. Peace.
This is the best magic trick I've ever seen.
Shoutouts to all my current and former members of the Absolute Zero tier. You guys are the real MVP. To everyone else, if you're looking for exclusive content, please check out the Patreon. And remember, there's a hero in all of us.
Subscribe or you too will be sent to the Shadow Realm.